Thank you, candidates. Our next question will come from Annie for John Van Tassel.
Next Sunday, the Old Road Society will meet at the Garrison Firehouse and celebrate 25 years. Dirt roads are an iconic part of Phillipstown's character, but also costly and prone to storm damage. Indian Brook Road is still closed to through traffic 2 years after Hurricane Irene, to take but one example. To what extent should Phillipstown pave its dirt roads?
Well, believe it or not, I met with Terry Zaleski last Saturday or Sunday? We had a lengthy discussion, and we were invited. The entire town board was invited to their forum, which is on Sunday. There's some differing opinions in town about the dirt roads, and there is an environmental impact, there's an economic impact, and there's also a life safety issue that we're dealing with. As you know, Andy, you travel those dirt roads a lot. There's a lot of times that it's not passable, and that really scares me as somebody from the emergency services, that we will not be able to get services to you or to somebody that lives on a dirt road. But there's also the historic value of the roads, and the people that live on those roads, they bought their homes hoping that those roads would remain the same. We did just go through a lengthy discussion and several years to get the lower end of Old Albany Post paved. And I think there's certain areas that need a hard surface or need to be addressed that way. And I think we will, as we have done, listen to the public. We listen to what people say. Maybe there is a solution out there. Maybe Roger doesn't have it in his 40 years or 50 years of experience in doing these roads. But if there is a solution out there other than pavement, I'd like to hear about it. We've redone the drainage along Saunders Hill there. It's held up all summer. Does that mean it's gonna hold up through an Irene or a Sandy? There's no way to know until that happens. But there are certain grades, certain areas. We've had several engineers look at these areas. They need a hard surface or an additional type of drainage to provide. Maybe there is another solution out there, and we're certainly open to comments about it.
Lee?
I grew up on a dirt road. I learned to ride my bike on a dirt road. I like the dirt roads, but every time we have a rainstorm, we're seeing our tax dollars wash away. Anything above a 15% grade really needs to be hard surface paved, or I'm open to any other solution that can make this not wash away every time we have a bad storm. You know, and if elected, I promise only to deal with those sections above 15% grade. I don't want to see any other sections of flat road paved. I'm not in favor of that. I think they offer a true historic value to our town and our community. Something else I'd like to see on dirt roads is maybe a seasonal speed bump arrangement somewhere, because you know, traffic nowadays is much more than it used to be. You know, I won't let my kids go up and play on the road anymore like I used to. It's dangerous. You know, you have contractors driving by, landscapers driving by, people crossing over to Putnam Valley now. You know, with the cars and new technology and suspensions, people drive a lot faster on dirt roads, and it's just not safe. I see it every day, right in front of my house while I'm waiting for the bus with my kid. It's not right. I don't know if we can reduce speed limits, but you know, seasonal speed bump I would be in favor of something like that, or any other solution you could slow down traffic. But if we can't solve this by meetings, and we have organizations that want to put us in court or put roadblocks up for us, then let's put it up for a referendum to the people. Let the entire town vote on this, because the entire town is funding these roads. Thank you.
Thanks. Mike?
The town road issues, basically there's 63 miles of roads. Almost about half that is the dirt roads. And obviously, having gone through myself on my own road, having to make the decision along with neighbors, as some groups have, about having to make a decision regarding whether or not you pave or can you have your existing dirt road. I think a lot of factors come into play, not just the grade itself, but also more than half this town is steep slopes, which is obviously clearly stated in the comprehensive plan. And it creates a number of challenges for us. We have to take a look, I think, at each issue. I don't think we can just uniformly go out there and say we should pave all the roads. I don't think financially that would be very feasible to do, certainly in the short term. But obviously there are a number of things that you have to take a look at with it. Clearly, without a doubt, from an environmental standpoint, being on conservation, there is a number, obviously number 4 items that are put down, whether the winner to maintain the roads or the crown, so forth, on a dirt road, obviously ends up on the sides a lot. And obviously, as we know, years ago, of course, the dirt roads are put in scenic areas along waterways and so forth, and that was really nice. And to look at the water, the problem, unfortunately, is the water is still close to the roads. and that can cause for some problems from that side. So we have to take a look at that as well. So I don't think you can come up with one answer. I think you have to take a look at each area and its necessity. Over by me, I think the town did the right thing. I feel personally, in many incidences, safety has to come first. I think that's the first issue we have to take a look at. And I know it's very important, and I know I'm very much into historic preservation, and I agree with that. But I hope that the people realize that we have to take a look at safety first, and make sure that when that happens, that we come together as a group and realize there may be sections that we have to be able to pave and so forth.
Thank you. Kathy?
Thank you. I absolutely love dirt roads. My uncle has a farm in Vermont, and it's great. When we were kids, we'd go up in the back of a truck and we'd have a lot of fun on the dirt roads, and the dirt would fly up, and that was great. I also love history, and I love the historical aspect of anything. My father was a history major. He knew more than an own person knew about their own town, and he certainly knows a lot about the town of Phillipstown and taught me a lot throughout my childhood, and I'm very proud of that. The number one issue facing Phillipstown is really getting the cost down to run the town. And if you consider the 63 miles, half of them being dirt roads, you know, what does that mean to the taxpayers? Is that fair that we have these dirt roads? And I think the solution lies in paving some. And also, I was very fortunate to meet a very bright engineer who lives in our community. And he proposed to have a combination of a mixture, and it sounded very logical to me, and I think there absolutely are other solutions, as Mr. Van Tassel so pointed out before, and I think that's important to look at all the solutions. I'm a school teacher. I care about the kids that I teach. I care about their parents, and I care about the safety of the roads, and I know when those roads get slick, and when they get snowy, that puts the children in harm's way. The buses have a tough time. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. And as far as the money being spent, I live on a paved road, and my road is still in disrepair.